The Northtown News Magazine is brought to you in part by eVoter. eVoter is proud to be a sponsor of the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned for the Northtown News Magazine.
Can we grab you? Sure. Terrific. Yeah. 8 years.
I want to do it, right? Yeah, I want to.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I do. Oh, no.
You should say that on the air.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet Hope, Chicago. 2 is 4, 4 4 6. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on, honey, don't you?
Hey there, I am really Marty Levinson. Don't let anybody fool you. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the World Wide Web, www.ntnm.org. We really don't have good sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but this year alone, presently, and we're filming in November, second week after the election, we've got about 63,000 shows watched, which is we're very happy about. Thank you. The numbers keep going up every year, and as a matter of fact, 1 month to the next, the numbers keep going up too. So keep on watching and enjoy. And don't forget, too, we're actually on a whole bunch of channels. You know, we're on in the city of Chicago, we're on in Evanston, we're on in 30 or 35 northwest suburbs, and we're on all kinds of systems. We're on all the Comcast systems. We're on most of the AT&T systems where the channels are somewhat different, and we've got to track them all down. And also, we want to let you know, you can watch us, I like to call it live streaming video on the internet. But on Evanston, Thursdays at 8 o'clock, you can watch our show live. And I mean live. If you go to ECMC TV, click on channel 6, you can see the show, well, not, live on tape, because we really don't cut things. Anyway, too long of an intro. Of all the people I endorsed, one of the person on a local level I was happiest to see win is my guest. He is the Assessor-elect of Cook County, presently a commissioner, and that's Joseph Berrios. How you doing?
Great, great.
First of all, it's a pleasure to see you win, and like people who read Jewish Chicago, they can still read it online, can see my whole long reasoning. But you know what? The election's over. You won a sound victory of 15% or more. So what are your plans now that you're going into office?
I am doing transition right now. We're taking a look at the office, taking a look where we want to make the changes in the office. We're going to put what we promised the voters, that we would make that office more transparent than it's ever been, and that we would make it more homeowner friendly. We were talking earlier today about opening up the 2 other suburban offices that have been closed by the assessor, so that people have the opportunity to come to our suburban offices and not have to come downtown. That's one of my priorities as soon as I get in the office. The other priority that I have with the tax bill is going to be coming out pretty soon. I want to make sure that when I'm down there on December 6th, that people coming to the office are treated fairly, with respect, and given the opportunity to state their cases as to why maybe some of the tax bills are incorrect, whether they forgot their homeowner's exemption or there was an error in the senior exemption. I want to be there to service those people that come to our office, and we're going to put a new thought and process as to the way that the assessor's office should treat people. I mean, we're there to work for them. They're not working for us, and we want to make sure that everything is correct and sound so that, every taxpayer has an opportunity, number one, to appeal their assessments, and number two, to make sure all the exemptions are there.
Yeah, one of the things now, people, it's funny because people usually blame people when things happen, and you're going to be the new face when the property tax bills this year are really late.
Yeah, they're extremely late because of what happened with the new ordinance here in Cook County that was passed by the county board. People didn't realize that when they passed this new ordinance, there was going to be a lot of confusion, and what ended up which was supposed to be a simple system turned into a system that nobody understood. So at the Board of Review, we ended up with 430,000 complaints being
Wow.
filed. So that, at one point, people in government were saying, just process them, don't deal with them, we'll deal with it in the future. But that would have been totally unfair. And the two commissioners and I at the Board of Review wanted to make sure that everyone had a fair hearing so that they would be able to present their cases, or we could look up to see what the comparables were for them and make a decision as to whether the valuation that the assessor's office had put on those properties were incorrect. And out of the 430,000, there was a lot of changes that were given because of the economic situation that we're in today, where market values are coming down, they're not going up. But with the new ordinance, in order to get to the numbers, they increased market values, which was crazy in this market and in this day and age when, everyone that reads a newspaper or magazine knows market values are coming down. They have not gone up in the last 2 years.
Interestingly enough, when I've learned over the internet to see what all the houses, there's places that will show transactions over the last 10, 20 years. And my house is the exact same house as 4 other houses on the block. One of them has a driveway, so that makes it worth a little more. And before the real estate market went kaflooey the wrong way, 3 doors down, or 2 doors down, I shouldn't tell people exactly which house, went for $349,000, which shocked me. Because if you were in here, I know Sonny made the studio look so beautiful and all the rest of it, but this is my tiny little dining room, okay? And the green room's the living room. A year later, after the real estate market went, woo! The house next door to it went for $238,000. So from $349,000 to $238,000 for an identical house in slightly over a year.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the assessor's office is supposed to take a look at, what's happening in the different neighborhoods that's affecting values within those communities. Again, like the individual that bought that property for $300,000 plus. I will make you, if I were to go look at their assessment, they're probably assessed closer to that $300,000 level than that $200,000 level, which, taxes are supposed to be fair across the board. So that, if your house is only worth that $200 level, you should be taxed at the $200, not the $300, which is why we at the assessor's office, when I get down there on the 6th, want to make sure that no one gets overtaxed. I mean, when you get that first notice in the mail from our office at the assessor, take a look at it. If you feel it's too high, come back to us. We're willing to make a change. No one should ever think they're infallible, especially as human beings. But the thing is, we have to make sure that those numbers are correct so that people don't pay more than their fair share. Everyone's going to pay taxes. That's a given. But the thing is, I'm happy that the voters are going to give me an opportunity to try to straighten out, the problems that there are in the assessor's office and with different communities. We've got to be able to go out and get the information. We've got to find out what's going on in different areas. Are there foreclosures? Are there abandoned buildings? Are there gang problems? Whatever problems are happening, if businesses are closed, that shows that the economy in that particular neighborhood is going down. That affects value. And people, when they go to buy a piece of property, they all look at that. I mean, if I were going to go buy a piece of property, I would take a look at what's going on in the community, what's going on in the neighborhood. And, that 300,000 plus house that we were talking about, I wouldn't, even if he asked for 300, I wouldn't give him the 300 because I'll take a look at it. That one sold for this, that one sold for this. So my offer on that piece of property would probably be closer to 200, but I expect to be taxed at the 200. I don't want to be taxed at the 300, which is why the assessor's office is so important. The more data that we get, the better we can be at, making the assessments on each property so that people don't have to keep jumping through all these hoops. They go to the assessor's office. They don't get the satisfied result. They go to the Board of Review. And because the assessor's office didn't do their job, again, we ended up with 430,000 properties to look at. If they're not happy with the Board of Review, they go to the Property Tax Appeal Board or the court. But the thing is, if we can streamline government and get these numbers correct, government in the long run is going to save money because there won't be people going from one level to another level to another level, which keeps costing each and every taxpayer money. And government is supposed to be fair with everyone. And that's what I would be striving for as assessor, to make sure that everyone is treated fairly.
Actually, one of the things I didn't know before the election is I was told by somebody after our last shoot that you're an accountant.
Yes, yes, the University of Illinois Chicago. I still call it Circle. because of when I went there.
I was actually there for a semester when it was Circle.
Well, I still call it. People say, "Oh, I go to university." I go, "Well, do you go to Circle?" They go, "No, I go to Chicago." I go, "Oh, same thing." But yeah, I graduated with a degree in accounting from there.
Actually, I've got an older cousin that calls it Navy Pier because he went when it was at Navy
Yeah,
Pier.
at Navy Pier. I remember. I was a little young then, but yeah, I remember when it was at Navy Pier, and it was.
Well, he's 18 years older than me,
Yeah.
so.
But I remember, if you look at the history of it, the mayor always wanted to create an inner city college where it would be affordable for people to go, and he created Circle Campus, which is, if we look at it today, it's grown and it's flourished, and it's one of the top schools that you can go to now.
No, yeah, no question about it. So let's get back to, well, it was actually interesting. But the assessor's office, so okay, about 2 weeks from now, well, in real terms, about November 22nd or so is when people will approximately get their notices this year?
Yeah, I think the bills are going to go out probably next week. And the final deadline, if everything falls into place, will be December 17th or 18th to pay the property tax bill.
So wait, we'll have only December 17th or 18th. So we'll basically have 25 days to get ready, get set, go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a 30-day period from the day they mail out to the final deadline when you have to pay it. So I figure when I get in there on December 5th, there's going to be a lot of people coming in to see us so that, if they have problems with their property tax bills, and we'll be there to serve them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So from a practical standpoint, okay, so let's say I get my bill and after I recover from the heart attack or the pancreatitis, whatever it is. But let's say so, okay, so I want to go, whoa, that's too much. Because I don't think I'll go, whoa, that's too little.
Well, the first thing they should look at when they get the property tax bill is to make sure they got their exemptions. Because if they're missing and they pay it, it's going to take them a while to get a refund.
Yeah, for instance, in my case, I've been in the house 20 years, so that counts. Some people are senior citizens.
Yeah, so make sure you got your exemption.
And senior citizens now need to file each and every single year.
Well, we're going to work on that.
That would be great.
I had a conversation with the chairman of the Revenue Committee, Barbara Flynn Curry, and we're going to look at ideas of trying to get rid of the system. I mean, there are people that have problems with individuals getting the exemption who are not entitled to it. If the senior passes away, and the kids stay in the house and they don't report it all, so they get a break on the property tax, which means somebody else is going to pay it. In other counties in Illinois, they do an annual, but they're not as big as Cook County. Cook County, we've got 1.7 million pieces of property out there, some of which are exempt. So we need to make sure that all the people who are entitled to the exemptions get the exemption. So I want to work with the legislature. I want to work with here in Cook County because we've got other ways of getting this information. Because I want to make sure that no senior citizen who's entitled to the senior exemption is left out because of the fact that they forgot to file an annual application.
In terms of actually appealing the number itself, okay? Because, I mean, I'll get something like assessed valuation, and it's a formula. So if it says like 173,000 or 118,000 or whatever it says, it's hard to understand what that's going to translate to.
Well,
but when I see the actual number, then I have some clue.
Yeah, but the thing is, the last time they sent out the notices, they didn't put the market value on the notice. I will be coming up with a new form which will show you not only what your assessed valuation is, but the value that the assessor's office has put on it. We'll also be including whether you're delinquent in any of the years on property taxes, because a lot of times people don't realize that they pay it late, they owe interest, that can go on the scavenger sale, which ends up costing you money. So we will have a lot more information on our assessment notices. It won't be just a little card telling you your new assessed valuation is $20,000 without telling you what the market value is.
So that sounds good. We're running out of time, and actually we went longer than I wanted, but it's very informational, and thank you. I appreciate that. So, for instance, if I'm in Rogers Park, I think. So if Rogers Park has appeals going on now, but the bills weren't out yet, so how do you appeal?
Oh, you can still appeal. All you have to do is go to the board of review, but you can actually come to the assessor's office and ask for a certificate of error saying you made a mistake in my number. So we will be there to help people go through that process also.
Gotcha. And if they want to call the assessor's office, we know you haven't taken over yet, but do you know the number?
No, I don't. Not yet. I know it's on the 3rd floor of the county building.
3rd floor of the county building, and you know what? You can look up cookcountyassessor.com. They're on the internet, they're in the phone book, all the rest of it. In the meantime, I want to thank very much for educating me and us, the assessor-elect of Cook County, Joseph Berrios, and good luck in the job. And I hope
Thank you for having me.
I hope it's very successful.
Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate everything you did for me.
My pleasure. Thank you.